Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it is for Friday, the 31st day of July. Here we go. Now, we're going to tell you one last explanation about why the day of Tu B'Av, that's Friday, the 15th of Av, is considered so festive. It's also called the day of the breaking of the axe. That's what they call this Friday, the 15th of Av, and I'll tell you why. It's because wood had to be collected for the burning of the fires on the altar in the temple in the Beis Hamikdash, and a lot of wood had to be collected. And the wood had to be special, not wormy, not damp, and so it can only be collected in a certain season when you get good dry wood. And the end of the season of the collecting of the wood for the Beis Hamikdash, for the temple, ended on the 15th of Av. So they called it the day of the breaking of the axe. And they made big celebrations. They actually did a ceremonial breaking of an axe. And they also had feasting and a Suda of mitzvah and all that good kind of stuff, because this was the great day that they stopped the cutting of the wood until they would start it up again on the following year when the right season for collecting wood began. So that made it a festive day. It was called the breaking of the axe, and it was on the 15th of Av. You're not going to feel that too much. In our way, we're going to not say Tachnan, and that's the only way that you're going to feel the specialness of the day. Also, some say that this is at the time of the year that the summer solstice passes, and the nights begin to get longer, and as the nights begin to get longer, then there's more time to learn to do Torah study at night, which is a very special thing, and that's also, according to some, part of the celebration of the specialness of the day of Tu B'Av. I want you to know that the Gemara on Tainus says that there were no days as festive to the Jewish people as Yom Kippur and the 15th of Av. Now, that might strike you as a strange comparison, but the 15th of Av and Yom Kippur are compared to each other and in festiveness, and that needs some explaining. The simple explanation is this. You see, the Jewish people, after they got the Torah, sinned with the golden calf, and they needed a giant repentance from that, and the repentance was completed on the day when finally God said, Vayomer Hashem salachti kidvarecha, I have forgiven the Jewish people. And Moshe came down at the end of those 40 days announcing the forgiveness, and that was on Yom Kippur, on the 10th of Tishrei. And so there was, it marked a great repentance that was complete on the day of Yom Kippur. Hence, Yom Kippur having great celebration in that great forgiveness happened and repentance was complete. Tu B'Av, the 15th of Av, in a way, the same type of thing happens on that special day, because that's the day we did the tremendous sin of the spies. And the spies was that sin of saying that we didn't want the land of, or we didn't want to go into the land of Israel. God considered that a grave sin, and that sin was finally put to rest when we were forgiven, finally, and that happened when the final end of all of the. Remember, I explained to you on a previous day how the Jews died off in the desert, and the 15th of Av was when they finally stopped dying on that final year. So the 15th of Av, when that final death ended of the last generation of the desert, ended on the 15th of Av, so that marked the completion of God said, okay, it's behind you now. The grave sin of wanting spies is now behind you, and you can celebrate. And so in that way, it's festive, just like Yom Kippur is festive. That's what Chazal seem to mean by that interesting statement. Thanks for logging on. Have a wonderful 15th of Av, and log on again after Shabbos for more. Bye-bye.